Back. Let's go shopping for a Thunderbolt drive case. Okay, so we have the cases. Very popular on YouTube, okay? But it seems to have maybe some limits or nobody's pushed it that hard yet. I don't know. But it's rated for a 1 terabyte drive only, which is pathetic. But also, it has some issues with a few different drives and a lot of third-party drives that are not mainstream SSDs. So, yeah, not very good news there. However, it does have some good speeds out of it, I'll give it that. And it is completely toolless, okay? Which, I mean, a lot of people like that sort of thing, I guess, nowadays. But some guy liked it so much he bought a second one. However, when it comes to speed, that's where it kind of concerns me a little bit is I want speed out of my drive. I'm sorry, but 2468 by 2571 is not acceptable speed to me. However, the guy is using it on an Intel Mac, so that definitely explains a lot right there. Either way, yeah, this guy is on crack, right? He's got an M1, right? And it's saying here that he tested it with a 2 terabyte 770 Western Digital, and he got a decent speed of reading of 3000, which is quite good actually, but a write speed of 1200 to 1600. That's not so cool, right? I agree. Try a different drive, pal. This is the problem with a lot of people. They buy something and then they expect that it's going to be a blazing fast thing because they bought a really fast drive. He probably bought an Express 3 drive, not an Express 4. Because I can see Express 3 actually doing this, because Express 3 will do that, right? Express 4, he's going to get faster speeds, right? And you can look at his charts down below of all of his speeds that he got with Anamorphous and with Blackmagic, what do we call this, disk speed test. Where you go up to here, this guy used a 2 terabyte, so it can support more than one. He used a 2 terabyte on an M1 14-inch laptop, 980 Pro Samsung. Now, I hate Samsung drives. We're not going into that. But look at the speeds he got. So that's an Express 4 drive, obviously, and with a high speed rating as well. So, yeah, that's probably a 7000 by 5400 or 5800 drive. You can expect to see that sort of performance. Especially in the M1 14-inch because it's also a Thunderbolt 4 bus on there, not a Thunderbolt 3. See, the theoretical speed thing, yeah, Thunderbolt 3, Thunderbolt 4, USB 4, theoretical speeds are 40, okay? Now, at that, it's under the ideal conditions and according to bus. You can get faster speeds on the 40 gigabit line if you have the highest level of Thunderbolt. You're going to get the highest possible performance out of it. So, there you go. I have Thunderbolt 3 on my M1 Mac Mini, and the most I get is just over 2700 read and write speeds with the Express 4 7000 by 6000 Kingston KC3000 drives I'm using. Okay? And they're 1 terabyte drives. So anyway, and I'm not using the Acasis case, by the way, because I found that for $200, that was a lot of money. And even if you are not too concerned of going right at that 27 and you want at least 25 or maybe 24 by 24, you know what? Spend less and still get your drive and your case for the exact same money. Or maybe less if you find a good deal on a drive on sale, too. So I went Indamin. Now, Indamin is rated as a 2 terabyte storage capacity. However, people on here have gotten up to 4 terabyte installed on this with great success. Now, these are all the screenshots from all the reviewers. I'm on here as well, but I didn't put any screenshots on. I don't find a point in that for there. But perfect for expanding your storage. Now, he's getting 2482, 2241. He's on an M1 MacBook Air with a Samsung Evo Plus, 2 terabyte, and he's also tested a 4 terabyte critical or sorry, Crucial P3 NVMe SSD. All right, so that's pretty decent. He's also got speed rating of 2580 or 2686, 2795. Very good. Okay, next test, 2316, 2270. Okay, and he's telling us about the different Macs he's tested it on too. This is on a 2017 iMac 275K. So that's a 6-year-old computer. That's actually pretty good results for a 6-year-old Intel Mac. And then he's using Anamorphous on another Mac, which is his Apple M1 Max. And of course, this guy is in Frog A, right? So we have these different reviewers showing us different things, different stuff. But this guy is using a Rocket PCIe M.2 Express 4. I can decipher a bit of French. I used to speak it at one time, but I quit. And so anyways, he's got good read. The writes are a little on the low side, but depends on the drive speed ratings too, on the reads and writes. But all of these separate things here, you can just look at them all up top and see what's going on. But yeah, I mean, the Intamin enclosure, it's $80 cheaper than a case's. And I bought 2 of them, and I bought 2 identical KC3000, 1 terabyte, 7000 by 6000 drives. And I'm Thunderbolt 3 on my M1 Mini, and I'm still getting consistent speeds of over 2700 read and write, which is also very good because the controller in here has been tested up to 2500 by 2400, and I'm getting well above that, and obviously some other people are too. So take the speed ratings of some of these things kind of with a grain of salt in some cases, but in other cases, yeah. So let's go on to the world's biggest piece of junk. Oh, before we do that though, Oracle and AnkMax. Okay, AnkMax is this one here. This is $200 and it's identical to the Acasis, but at least the Acasis, they actually tell you some incompatible drives. These guys don't list anything that's incompatible, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But otherwise, it looks the exact same case with a different name on it. Oracle has some of their drives are decent. There have been obviously some defective drives that have shown up to people with a cable issue or something. Defects can happen on any product no matter how much you pay. So anyway, and if you're looking for a really killer USB 3.2 drive case, this would be the one that I would recommend. I have 2, but I gave 1 to my wife for her computer because she needed some more storage. And it's like, I already have it here. I'm not using it. I've already got my 2 main buses filled on my Mini. So, hey, and I only need 1 other one for my other computers to share. So, yeah. But this thing will run at about 1,000 megabits per second, okay, with the majority of drives out there that are rated for at least 1,500 and up read and write, okay. No problems, okay. Very solid case, totally toolless. Nice short cable on it. You don't want a long cable because the longer the cable, the more you're going to lose for speed. But definitely, if you've got USB 3.2 Gen 2 port or lower, this case will work with them all. And I've tried them even on the lowest USB ports I have at my Access, and the thing works fine. So anyways, great case, worth the money for 40 bucks. Now, what Sabrent does sell that's a piece of garbage, though, is this thing. This is not impressive. Now, you've seen this on a lot of YouTube videos. People are definitely getting disappointed here. Okay, this is Thunderbolt 3 certified. Will not work on anything else, apparently. That's a shame. Anyway, he barely got over 1100, which means he's basically at a 3.2 speed. This case sucks. You are paying $120, same as I paid for my Intamin, and this case absolutely abhorrently sucks for performance. I got this for my M1 iMac, and a Western Digital SN750. The performance is quite good. This guy's got to be on drugs. He doesn't know what performance is. Read a 15 and write a 12. That is just barely scraping above USB 3.2 Gen 2. Okay, barely. I mean, that is very bad speed. Okay. The way that it is priced the way it is not 4 lanes, but it is nice little enclosure that gets pretty hot. Yeah, okay. What? And a 4? 4 out of 5? I don't know. Only downfall, it isn't USB-C compatible. That sucks. For 120 bucks, even my Indaman works on everything. Anyway, I know I've tested it. His Thunderbolt, a Thunderbolt's stick work like USB 3.1. I don't know what this guy's on. Slow, just a bit better than USB 3.1, but way more expensive. Yeah, because it's garbage. Yet you will find on YouTube tons of glowing reviews on this case. You know, it's kind of like all these glowing reviews of Macintosh computers that come out with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gig drives. You're not a slave to Apple for storage, which is true. I'm actually using a 1 terabyte external now. This is my boot drive. And I do have a 512 internal, so I'm not hurting. My 512 does run slightly faster, but I've been experimenting, and you know what? I'm quite happy with my experiment at this point. And at least I'll never have to worry about my internal SSD going boof on me someday. Not that I'm going to keep my Mac Mini for the next 20 years, but either way. So this thing is really crummy. Let's go through the pictures. Sorry, I'm eating a fudgicle while I'm doing this video. Kind of need some energy here. I've been up since 5 a.m. trying to cut this video, and it's 11 in the morning. But there was something here that I seen on the speeds here. It's Thunderbolt 3 certified. M.2 only from the looks of it. There we go. Speeds of up to 1600 megabits per second. They're actually not kidding for once. They're actually right on the ball. It's an up to rating that you'll probably never see anyway, no matter what you do, apparently. 120 bucks. Okay, I'm done my fudgicle. Now my throat's frozen. Anyways, stay away from it. It's a piece of junk. If you're going to buy a Thunderbolt case, don't look at Sabrent, okay? Look at things like Oracle or Acasis if you want to spend the extra money, which is not going to help you out any. Spend less, get more for your money, buy Indaman. And yeah, some guy actually on the Indaman reviews where I had mine, he actually mentioned he's had more expensive cases and this one is better and far less money. It's like, yeah, no kidding, like 80 bucks cheaper. I mean, and like I said, if you're not concerned about getting to that 2700 by 2700 like I am, get an Express 3 drive in there, still get some great performance, and you can actually get the drive and the case for like 200 bucks. Or spend an extra $30 and get a real drive in there and get excited over 2700 megabits per second. Now that's according to Blackmagic too. I haven't tried Antimorphous on my drives yet. I think I'll download it and try it. And we'll do a comparison video to see how Antimorphous compares to Blackmagic, because it will report differently than Blackmagic. Okay? Anyway, but yeah, we're pretty much at this point out. Now, I found something on here. I'm going to write the company to see if they'll actually give me one to review. I mean, 9 people have only had the balls to buy this thing. But I got to tell you, when I started reading on it and checking it out, I'm like, oh, could I ever use something like this? 515 bucks, though. That's kind of what makes me a little scared. It supports 4 internal NVMEs. Plus 2 external Thunderbolt ports to put on whatever you want that's Thunderbolt, plus a display port video bus as well if you want to put another monitor on your computer, okay, and as well. Now, it does have a fan. It is considered noisy, But I don't care. I actually want to know what the noise is. But it's also powered, okay? 12-volt power into this thing. It's a powered unit. So it's like, ooh, I wonder how this thing's really going to perform in the real world. Because, I mean, I'm not even going to fill up all the... I'll fill up all the internal slots, no problem. You can RAID 0 this puppy, which means, if you're not aware of what RAID 0 means, it's when you take a multitude of hard drives, or SSDs in this case, and you format them under the RAID formatting routine, and you take all those drives and combine them into one. So that it shows on your desktop as one drive. Even though information gets spread over, it's one massive drive that's very affordable. Think of it this way. If you took 4 8-terabyte drives, okay? I don't know how the biggest drive is that supports in this. I have to read more. But if you took 4 8-terabytes, that's 32 terabytes just in internals. You can still go externals on this thing too, right? But can you imagine 32 gigs worth of, or 32 terabytes worth of storage in a very small little package like this? Insane. Okay, and format under one chunk if you want to. That's freaking awesome. And it supports, of course, Linux and Mac and likely Windows too. But anyways, 4-bay Thunderbolt 3. Now, that's fine that it's Thunderbolt 3, because that's all I got on my Mini anyways. And we know that Thunderbolt 3 to Thunderbolt 4, it's not that great of an improvement. 72-watt power supply, external power supply at that, external enclosure. I thought I'd save this for last. But yeah, I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. RAID zeroing drives, that'd be awesome. Not suitable on desk due to fan noise. Well, guess what? You know what it's cooling in there? However many drives you put in. You can put in like 1, 2, 3, or all 4, right? It doesn't matter. Point is, it's got a fan. It's going to be a bit noisy because it's got to keep the power supply, the other end of the power supply, the DC portion of the board, inside there. It's got to keep it cool. It's got to keep your drives ventilated and cooled. Guess what? It's going to have some noise, okay? It's not going to be a much, but 35 decibels is not very much, okay? Like, I don't know. I guess it depends on how many pickiness you have. This guy's installed 4 NVMe drives with 3500 by 2800 speeds, and he set it up in RAID 0 configuration on his Mac Studio. And as a RAID 0, you can expect to lose some speed. You kind of have to. Okay, it's not a choice, it's physics. But he's still getting 2000 by 2000. That's still really respectable for combining 4 NVMEs into a RAID 0 configuration and showing up as one icon on your desktop. That is freaking good, okay? Now, it doesn't matter what the transfer of the drives are. He could go to higher transfer rate drives and see higher ratings in the end. He's only at 3500 by 2800. Now, that's what the drives are rated for, which is telling me he's using Express 3 drives, okay? And Express 3 is limited to 35 by 3000. So if he wanted to see more speed on the real side, put in 4 Express 4s at 7000 by 6000, and he's going to take that number up to about 2800 and change, okay, in the end, in a RAID 0 configuration, okay? Didn't think about that part, did he? Okay? Anyways, I've never done a RAID 0 configuration before. I know how to do it. I've never done it, though. So, technically, I have no experience with it. But I know how it works, right? And I know about drives and versions of drives and all that jazz. And, yeah, this is plain to see that that's still respectable, even for combining and getting 2000 by 2000. That's still very respectable for the drives he put in there. But if he wants more, you need to double down on everything, okay? And get into that Express 4 drives. Because even, you know, I mean, I'm suspecting that those slots are going to be Express 4. And this is something that I would want to test. you know, and make people aware of if it's going to do this or not. But I would expect they probably are Express 4 slots, even though it's still Thunderbolt 3, doesn't matter. It should be Express 4 capable. Anyways, but you'd still never see that external horsepower of Express 4 onto an external bus. I tested with 8 terabytes. Ah, my man. I was just talking to my wife about doing that. I hadn't read this review yet. However, the fan is far too noisy for my near-quiet M1 MacBook Pro. Aw, poor Muffin. You don't like a little bit of noise? It's a device to do stuff. This thing is made for ITs, okay? I mean, this isn't for your general everyday user, okay? But YouTube creators that are doing massive files, they can take advantage of this puppy and save a ton of money at the same time, okay? Its loud performance is 2500 using RAID 0, so he's got a little bit of extra juice. It implies 4,000 in RAID 0. Yeah, that'd be like 2,000 by 2,000 split. So let's read and write. Being purchased primarily as an external drive, not a hub. It doesn't appear it can reach these numbers as a drive. I built RAID 0 using 970 Evo Pluses and again with 980 Pros. Same performance, limit of 2,500. Well, at least you got 2,500, right? He's using Express 4 drives from the sounds of things here. And that's something I said. You could get, you know, close to that 2,700, or realistically you should. Depends on the drive too, right? Like not all drives are equal the way they're made. Like some have a cache on them, some don't, some are NAND, some aren't, you know, but yet they still have speed and they still have this and that. And there's so much confusion on drives, it drives everybody nuts. Connected to a Mac Mini M2 Pro Thunderbolt 4 ports, knocked off another star because it's annoying that the fan is annoying. Aw, let's see what I can do. I can't afford this myself. I have no way of doing it. I'll write the company, see if they'll send me one. Because there's some stuff here that is not making sense to me. But at the same time, this ludicrousness stuff about the fan, and some guy says like 32 dB on the, or 35 decibel noted on the fan in spec. That he failed to catch. 35 decibels is not really all that loud. I don't know. I have to test out what 35 dB is. We'll have to see, because it should be fairly quiet, but I don't know. We'll find out, hopefully. I'm going to write this company. Bear with me on this one. If you ever see this on my channel in the next, I don't know, 6 months, I guess, you'll know that they gave me one. Because I can't afford it myself. I have no other way of getting this. But I would love to be able to review this product for you guys myself. Okay? And I definitely have a Mac here with Thunderbolt so we can take advantage of it. Because none of my PCs here have Thunderbolt ports on them. So, but I would definitely love to be able to do this for you guys. And give you my opinion on the fan noise too. Because I think some people are just whiny or something. I don't know. But we have to know. We have to find out. You know, that's the thing. It actually supports B&M and M-Key. Cool. I love this idea, though. Man. And I could plug my... And, you know, I'm going to try this with 4 drives in there. We'll RAID 0 them, okay? And then we'll go and put my external drives on after, okay? And see how they do as well with speed testing and having that entire load. Because remember, this is also a powered case, too. It's 12-volt powered case, and it should be supplying us quite a bit of amperage with that 12 volts to power everything properly. So this is going to be neat. I hope I can get this for you guys so I can review it. That would be so awesome. Anyways, so this is what we got for you. I'm out of here for now, but thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of the video. Do really seriously look at the Intamin case. I really do believe that you would be very happy with it in comparison to spending way more money on something that probably isn't going to even give you the storage capability that the Intamin actually seems to be doing over top of it. But also those speeds. I mean, I've told you guys what equipment I have and what I'm using for drives inside. This is the sort of thing you got to look into. Yeah, anyways, I'm out of here. See ya.